Hi, this is Roger. Excuse me. Thanks for dropping by. Gruff again this morning. Everything in bloom on the 8th, and I will have to keep it short or the camera will split the file, and that messes me up at the moment without my editing software, so we'll just whiz through the blooms. I didn't want to miss everything in bloom on the 8th, but again I'm limited until my software arrives. Wednesday, that is. First one is a Dendrobium Nora type, Nora Tokunaga crossed with abberans, and 2 spikes on here. And the beauty of these blooms is not from the front, it's actually from above where the patterning is. But the additional bonus with the Nora types is the sheer length of time that the blooms last. There's no noticeable fragrance on this, but these blooms will probably be around 3 months, possibly even more now the temperatures have dropped. So they're well worth having, and they are easy to grow. The only other dendrobium is the Dendrobium Hibiki, and this is fading now, but then you all know how long this has been in bloom, and it even survived the heat to a degree, but some of these spikes down here didn't survive the heat. They didn't open properly. And the initial blooms have gone now, and these are the few that are left, and these are starting to fade. So going soon, but new things like this coming, that maybe buds, maybe kikis, maybe new growths, we'll have to wait and see. But it's been in bloom for so long, you really cannot complain about that. My Miltonia Queen Ann is gone. I shouldn't really include that. That spike should have been taken off yesterday when I watered it. But it's going now, and it'll be a while before any blooms come on that. The other Miltonia is catestanea. And this is a naturally occurring hybrid, so you can find this particular hybrid in the wild. But very attractive blooms, if simple. You've just got the shades of purple and then the bronzy colours around it, and the combination just seems to work in its simplicity. Lovely little blooms. And my only phalaenopsis open, little NoID mini phal. And as phalaenopsis go, these blooms don't last a very long time, but nonetheless they are delicate. And to me, they are attractive because they are delicate. It doesn't have to be big and blousy to be attractive. The older spike has decided to branch, so it was worth leaving it on. And the latest spike, looks like there'll be 4 blooms on that. It may extend afterwards. The only Tolumnia out at the moment is Jarak Flyer Red Butterfly. And quite honestly, these are starting to fade. This one's on its way out now. This one's still looking quite good. Typical Tolumnia shape and very frequently occurring colours for Tolumnias. I mean, I have got other colours, yellows and bright oranges, but the shades of reds and purples and creams are quite common in Tolumnias, so that's quite a typical bloom. The Aerangis decaryana, the first 2 spikes to open have gone now, leaving the 3 on the other plant, 2 separate plants there. And they're still looking good, and they still fill the whole place with fragrance at night. Very powerful for such small blooms, but night scented. It has to get dark or there isn't an ounce of fragrance during the daytime. It's gone, nothing there. My Bulbopyllum Elizabeth Ann Buckleberry is playing games at the moment. I've just moved this to film it, but you can see there's a spike up there that's sat on the shelf at the moment. Well, when I put it back how it is, it lives down there, it hangs. This is the bloom that's fully open, attractive, no fragrance that I can detect, which may be good in Bulbophyllum's case, because some of them can be real stinkers. Let me just twist that back round and get that spike off the shelf so that it can hang. There's a 3rd spike coming on that one too. We've got a late blooming Disa here. The blooms that came out earlier in the year in the heat just didn't survive. They only lasted a few weeks. I'd expect at least a month, maybe even 6 weeks out of these, now that the temperatures have dropped. So they're in a more comfortable atmosphere now. Typical Disa shape, yeah, with the hood-like appearance at the top and triangular. Not large blooms for Disas. I'd class those as small to medium. Disa Kewensis this is, but very attractive nonetheless, and I'm appreciative of getting some late blooms because the others just didn't last at all. Peter Comp's still hanging in there. This is its last spike, and then we'll be looking for new growths all over the place. Strong daytime fragrance, even stronger if the light gets brighter and the temperature rises, seems to trigger the fragrance. But even now, on a dull day, relatively early in the day, this is still fragrant. You know, from where I'm standing now, I can still smell the fragrance. Very, very pleasant fragrance on that one. My orange Vanda has opened up, just made it. Strictly speaking, this is an Ascosenda, but the Ascocentrums crossed with Vanda that made Ascosenda have all been reclassified as Vandas now, so really it's just a Vanda hybrid. It's a NoID. My daughter got me this one a few years ago. Again, the previous bloom spikes, a pair of them, just didn't last. They just went brown and withered in the heat. So this one should last a bit longer. And the last one for today, if I can get the pegs out of the way. So that's trying to hold this spike down. But my large purple Vanda is looking really good. Again, the previous spike didn't last. The edges of the blooms went brown. I suspect this spike, we will be looking at this for some considerable time. And what a beauty. And very, very large blooms. Very large blooms on this. And many of them. This is probably the best spike I've ever had on this Vanda. So looking good, looking good. Lovely patterning, lovely colour, deep purple lip, beautiful blooms. Probably my best Vanda as far as the blooms are concerned. And that's it. That's it for today. Short and sweet, no editing software. That's about the best I can do. And we'll be back to normal on Wednesday when the software arrives. I've got loads of clips ready to go, but I just can't put them together at the moment. So see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.